Where are the people that Stephen A? She not gonna do that. Let her cook. I want to know what y'all.
With rumors swirling about Caitlin Clark possibly heading to Europe, ESPN suddenly looks shaken. After an entire season of downplaying her impact, the network now seems to be scrambling. Fans are pointing out how often Clark's performances were overlooked, how rarely she was given the spotlight she deserved, and now, ironically, ESPN appears worried about losing the very star they failed to fully appreciate. As speculation grows about her next move, it's clear the power dynamic has flipped, and ESPN no longer gets to influence whether Caitlin Clark takes her talent overseas.
Okay, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented. We're not putting the best team.
Molly Karam, an ESPN analyst, spent much of the season drawing criticism from fans who felt she never gave Caitlin Clark the credit she deserved. At one point, she even suggested Clark was making fun of the sport, a comment that left many stunned. How could anyone take that seriously? Caitlin Clark has elevated women's basketball, ignited nationwide conversation, and reshaped the sport's popularity in real time.
Versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take.
Another analyst insisted that Caitlin Clark wasn't being targeted by other players, despite fans pointing out how frequently she took hard contact throughout the season, including the game where she walked away with a black eye. Now, with some time off, many hope Caitlin explores opportunities in Europe that could shift the entire conversation, leaving both ESPN and the WNBA with far less to debate and far more to rethink.
Making a basketball argument.
We're not saying
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a hand.
The pressure Caitlin Clark brings to the game seems overwhelming for some at ESPN, especially now that rumors suggest she might explore opportunities in Europe instead of committing fully to the WNBA. Throughout the season, many fans felt ESPN downplayed her achievements while spotlighting others, creating constant debate about how she was covered. Now the network is facing the possibility that the athlete who generated so much buzz and boosted ratings could take her star power overseas. It's no surprise the idea has sparked concern. Losing Caitlin would create a noticeable gap in storylines, coverage, and overall viewer excitement.
Is felt every place she goes, every arena she goes. TV, ratings, value.
For months, many fans felt ESPN consistently downplayed Caitlin Clark's abilities while pushing constant comparisons to Angel Reese, another rising star in women's basketball. From the start of the season, the network often highlighted the idea that Reese was having the stronger year, while Caitlin, despite her massive impact and national spotlight, was portrayed as struggling to meet the sky-high expectations set after her historic college run at Iowa. The comparisons never seemed to stop, with analysts like Molly Karam and Monica McNutt frequently joining the debate and questioning where Caitlin truly ranked among the league's elite players.
Response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her is like, whoa, bro. Also, you're not mentioning talking about women's basketball? I've never ever seen you before.
To many fans, the harsh criticism aimed at Caitlin Clark felt almost intentional, like ESPN was determined to keep her in the shadow of her peers rather than fully acknowledge her impact on the game. But here's where the karma kicks in. With rumors swirling about Caitlin possibly heading to Europe, ESPN suddenly seems uneasy. The idea that they might lose the very player they spent the season downplaying has sparked a wave of panic. This is the same athlete some ESPN voices portrayed as just a ratings draw, someone whose popularity was supposedly driven more by hype than by her actual on-court brilliance. Yet now, with the possibility of her taking her massive fan base overseas, the narrative appears to be shifting. The network is scrambling, because if Caitlin leaves, the player they once minimized could become the storyline they no longer control.
We're right. That's what we're saying. You
no,
right.
Molly, you did not say that, Molly.
I'm saying
That's what you said.
That's not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys?
They finally realized that Caitlin Clark is far more than just another player. She's the engine behind entire conversations, narratives, and ratings spikes. Her presence has shaped storylines all season long. If she were to take her talents to Europe, the impact wouldn't be small. It would ripple through ESPN's programming and send shock waves across the WNBA, both of which have leaned heavily on her star power to drive viewership and engagement. And now, you can see just how quickly their perspective has shifted.
I'd love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know who you are. In the NBA, voting is not anonymous. Yeah. So I would love for the WNBA to make the voting so we see who put the votes where.
Throughout the season, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe were among the few ESPN personalities who consistently stood up for Caitlin Clark, reminding audiences of her undeniable talent and impact on the court. They often noted that, in their view, Caitlin was facing an unusual level of scrutiny, from both the media and fellow players, largely because she was a high-profile rookie who arrived with enormous attention from her historic college career. Smith and Sharpe argued that the criticism surrounding her felt excessive, especially for someone who had already proven herself as one of the most dynamic young players in the league. Yet even with their support, Caitlin continued to receive pushback from other ESPN analysts, with figures like Molly Karam and Monica McNutt frequently challenging her status among the league's top talents. Many fans also felt that certain WNBA players viewed her as the new star who needed to be tested or humbled. But despite the pressure, the noise, and the constant spotlight, Caitlin rose above it all. She delivered one of the most impressive rookie seasons in WNBA history, elevating her game, transforming the Indiana Fever, and firmly establishing herself as one of the sport's brightest emerging superstars.
Have 2 All-Stars in their starting lineup. They also have the reigning Rookie of the Year. Chicago has none of that. So the lift for Angel Reese has...
Caitlin Clark quickly became the driving force behind the Indiana Fever. For a team that had long lingered near the bottom of the WNBA standings, securing a postseason spot felt like a monumental achievement. Not only did Caitlin navigate her rookie season, but she also thrived, delivering performances that quieted even her harshest critics. Week after week, the pressure to perform was immense, yet her poise, skill, and court vision never wavered. She lifted a team that many had written off, showcasing both her leadership and extraordinary talent.
Her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5.6 turnovers.
Those are hell of a numbers.
But to me, that's...
Despite all of Caitlin Clark's accomplishments, ESPN largely stuck to its narrative for most of the season, until her dominance became impossible to ignore. Only then did the network begin to acknowledge her brilliance, almost as if they had championed her from the start. The sudden shift was striking, and to many fans, even a little comical. The same network that had spent months downplaying her impact was now celebrating her as the superstar they had previously questioned.
Stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right. And it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite uncle a jersey with your autograph.
Here's the catch. Caitlin Clark never needed ESPN's approval. She had already proven her doubters wrong during a rookie season in which she was expected to struggle, constantly targeted by both players and commentators questioning whether she was ready for the spotlight. Yet despite all the criticism, Caitlin delivered performances that no one could have predicted, emerging as the standout player of her class. Considering the pressure, scrutiny, and challenges she faced from the league and the media, it's easy to see why exploring opportunities in Europe would make sense. Such a move would send a clear message to ESPN and the WNBA about what they risk losing by undervaluing one of the game's brightest talents.
Day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in...
If Caitlin Clark chooses to take her talents overseas, the responsibility will fall squarely on ESPN and the WNBA. They had every opportunity to champion one of the league's brightest young stars, yet instead, they spent the season disparaging her, downplaying her achievements, and limiting her influence. Caitlin's electrifying play and undeniable charisma were central to the recent surge in league viewership. Without her, the WNBA could face a significant drop in ratings. Beyond casual viewers, she brings a devoted and passionate fan base that follows her everywhere. If she heads to Europe, those fans will follow, leaving the league to grapple with sustaining the momentum it worked so hard to build.